We are sitting down with Chelsea Welch, Kettering Fairmont, class of 2013. Chelsea lettered all 4 years in basketball and volleyball at Fairmont. She made a huge impact on the Lady Firebirds basketball program, playing a key role on 4 consecutive Ohio High School Athletic Association Final Four teams. Amazingly, Chelsea was the starting point guard and floor leader as a freshman on Hall of Fame coach Tim Cogan's Firebird squad that was the first girls basketball team in Fairmont history to advance to the state Final Four. While they lost in the semifinals that first year, the bar was raised and Chelsea helped lift the team to even greater heights her sophomore and junior years, as the team lost to Twinsburg in the state championship game both years. Chelsea's senior year was the culmination of 4 years of hard work, as the Lady Firebirds faced off once again against Twinsburg in the finals, bringing home a state championship with a thrilling 52-48 victory. According to Coach Cogan, talking about Chelsea, her drive and determination over a 4-year span was amazing. Chelsea's work ethic was through the roof, and it was because of her leadership and dedication to the program that the Firebirds brought the trophy home. High praise. As a freshman, she was first team All-Central Division. As a sophomore, junior, and senior, she was first team All-Central Division and first team All-Conference all 3 years. During the Chelsea Welch era at Fairmont, the Firebirds put together a record of 99 wins and 10 losses. Among the program records she still holds are most assists in a single game with 12, career assists with 400, and career steals with 302. After Fairmont, Chelsea accepted a full scholarship to play basketball at the University of Pittsburgh. After playing there for 2 years, she transferred to Wright State for her last 2 years, where she was named Horizon League Player of the Year her senior year. After college, she played professionally in Portugal, where she led the league in scoring. She is now in her 6th year of college coaching and her 3rd year as assistant women's basketball coach at Ohio University. What a resume.
Thank you.
Chelsea, welcome.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Before we get around to talking basketball, a lot of people didn't realize that you, including me, that you also lettered 4 years in volleyball as well.
Yep.
Tell us about your volleyball career at Fairmont.
Okay, well, I used my athleticism, I think, for majority of it, but I didn't really understand rotations and all of that. But Coach Burley was like, I've seen you play basketball. You definitely could help us.
We can use you.
Be a hitter, yeah. So he would work with me like outside of practice, and I played JV, and then dress varsity, and then played varsity. And honestly, it was super fun because, it was something I just picked up in junior high, and it was a nice break and a little switch up from basketball.
Your classmate, Natalie Uwe, talked about the importance of playing 2 sports and how that helped her. So you obviously found the same result.
Yeah, for sure.
Your high school basketball career bookended a 4-year span during which Fairmont went to the state Final Four all 4 years. In the history of Fairmont East, Fairmont West, and Kettering Fairmont, the girls program had never made it to the state tournament before you came along. And so far, they haven't been back since you graduated. You come in as a freshman and are immediately put into the lineup as a starting point guard, the floor leader, as a freshman. That team, with a freshman point guard, makes it to the state semifinals, where you get beat. You remember anything about that game?
Yeah, actually I do. I was really sad. We were playing, I want to say it was Toledo Wait, I think. And I had to guard this really tall player, Natasha Howard. She's now in the WNBA.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Hello.
it was a tall order, and I'm like this like tiny little freshman, like probably half her weight, definitely like half her size. She was I think like 6'3", 6'4", and I'm like 5'7". Like, but it was a challenge that I was willing to take, and I wasn't afraid. And I was like, I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to give it 110%. And I took it as a challenge, and we came up short, but it was a good challenge.
Wow. After that season, you lose Fairmont Hall of Famer Cassie Sant, who was the Player of the Year in Ohio, to graduation. But you gain 2 tall freshmen, Catherine Westbeld and Michaela Waterman, the Twin Towers.
Yes.
And back you go to the Final Four. This time you win in the semis, but lose to Twinsburg in the finals.
Yes.
The same thing happens the following year, your junior year, losing again to Twinsburg.
Yep.
Tell us about those 2 losses in the finals.
Oh,
Painful as it may be.
Yeah. It was tough. So Michaela and Catherine, we all grew up together since about 2nd and 3rd grade. So we kind of had that chemistry, but similar to Twinsburg, they did as well. So they kind of had, a Division I kid going to Purdue, a person going to Maryland, Xavier. So they were locked and loaded as well. So we recognize a lot of them and even play with some of them during AAU and summer ball. So we knew it was going to be, a big test. And it was heartbreaking the first year because you felt like you got a little bit closer from the Final Four, and then you just come up short. And then, the next year again, bittersweet because you're making it to the finals, but then you're getting knocked out again by that same team, and you just feel like you can't, get over a hump. So.
Okay, you continue your dominance your senior year, going back to Columbus and winning your semifinal game, setting up a rematch with who else? Twinsburg.
Yes.
Who is going for a three-peat.
Yes.
As you prepared for that final game of your high school career, did you ever start to wonder if maybe Twinsburg just had your number and that maybe Chelsea was never going to get a chance to hoist that championship trophy?
If I'm going to backtrack just a little bit.
Please do.
To get there, we played, I believe it was against Mason High School to get there in regionals. And we were down by, I want to say it was between 8 to 10 points, about a minute left. And we came back within 45 seconds and won that game. And it was to the point that everyone had left early. They thought, Mason had it. They were tweeting Mason was going to be in the state, like semis. And when we beat them, we were like, obviously we worked our butts off. We believe we never gave up. And we're like, a lot of us were like, all the glory to God, because like how we came back, we have no idea. But from that moment, I was like, there's no way this isn't our year. So I went into state that year actually really positive. And then on top of that, what they say, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. So I was actually coming into it really excited. And, I thought that was our year once that game happened. I was like, there's no way.
Positive attitude.
Yeah.
Okay, Chelsea, take us through arguably the most important basketball game, boys or girls, in the history of Kettering schools, the 2013 state championship game.
Oh,
Tell us about that game.
Yeah. Well, again, it was a super exciting experience. While it was exciting, it was a little nerve-wracking just because, you're waiting for the ball to tip off and you kind of hold your breath for a second. The beginning, we definitely had some nerves. We were making silly turnovers and just kind of trying to do too much in the beginning. And once we settled into ourselves, we just worked really hard to get the lead. And then once we got the lead, we actually ran this like stalling play that Coach Kogan put in for regionals. And we weren't concerned about running the score up. We just wanted to maintain the lead as long as possible. So every time we got a decent lead, we would just stall like as long as we could until we got a really good shot. And ultimately, I believe they lost one of their key players as well. So that helped as well. So ultimately, we ended up keeping them their scoring to a minimum, and we kept our lead and we won. And it was awesome. Like it was the craziest feeling.
It had to be complete euphoria at the end of that. Did it hit you immediately? oh my gosh, we're state champions?
It
Or did it take a while for it to sink in?
like hit me initially in a sense of like I was just kind of like, wow, like all my hard work, this is how my story ends, like in high school. Like this is storybook, like what you would think. This is the best case scenario. And
How it was supposed to be.
yeah, doing it with my other friend Alana. We were graduating a year before Michaela and Catherine. So Alana was also with
Skipper.
me in all 4 of those years going to state. So we were finally like, we did it. Like, finally. So it was really, really exciting. And then, we came back and had the parade with everyone. And that's when it really was like, wow, like we did something really cool.
Yeah. What was it that made those Final Four teams special? Did you just have more talent than everybody else, or was it more to it than that?
Honestly, I think talent played a huge part in it. It's not very common to have that many Division One and Division Two prospects on a team, and we were loaded. So that definitely helped. But and then I think it's twofold. I think again, a bulk of us grew up playing together since we were in different combinations of us. One that transferred, Danny Schaefer. At one point, she played with Alana and Michaela, and then Catherine played with me during AAU as well as when we were younger. So like there's just a bunch of different combinations of, I think we all played together for so long that we just had a chemistry that by the time we got to Coach Kogan, after we were coached by my father, we were just on a different page. Like we just knew where anybody would be on the court at any time. And our chemistry was just through the roof. So we had that family feel on and off the court. And I think that was something that we were constantly had instilled in us. So.
Chelsea, who were some of the greatest influences on you during your athletic career at Fairmont?
Oh, wow. A lot of people.
Give me a few.
My dad, first and foremost, he got me into playing basketball, and he was my coach growing up until junior high. And then in high school, he was my AAU coach. So he's been with me and has influenced me to even want to be a coach today. So he kind of got me to see the floor in a different way and on and off the court as a coach and like a floor general. So obviously his support in taking me to AAU. My mom, of course, her support is unmatched. All my coaches, honestly, Coach Kogan, he definitely helped develop me as a person and my maturity growing up through high school off the court. And he was kind of like a second dad to me. So, but yeah, that's just a few. And all my teammates, of course.
You went on to have a tremendously successful collegiate career at Pitt and Wright State. What was the difference between playing in high school and playing in college, aside from the obvious difference in talent that you were playing with and against?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would say the speed of the game. It's a lot more, it's quicker and it's a lot more aggressive, and you can kind of get bumped, and that's not even seen by a ref. And, coming from high school to there, I was expecting a foul every single time kind of thing. And also just like managing my time. I was now independent. So like managing when I was going to do my homework, laundry, study hall, but then I have to go play a game and do all this by myself, and mom and dad can't do my laundry or whatever. Just like learning kind of independence but still trying to be like the best athlete I could be. It was definitely just kind of a transition.
Now you're coaching at the college level as an assistant coach at OU.
Yes.
Which was tougher, playing or coaching? Never been asked that before, probably.
Honestly, I think coaching. Coaching, because I know what like the players should do and I know what I want them to do, but you have to be able to translate it to them in terms they can understand. It's kind of like teaching, right? So it's like some are visual learners. You can just show them film. Some, they need to be on the court and they need to be told about 6 times. And then they also need to run through it 6 times. So just being able to like translate what I want and have it be executed properly. I think that's kind of like the biggest challenge in coaching.
Do you ever catch yourself sounding like Tim Kogan when you coach?
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
stomping on the floor with my heel in the ground and everything. Yes, yes, crouching down on the court, like on the sidelines, ready to coach, and yeah, I have my moments.
You had some good coaching role models.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the great things about being a Hall of Famer is that you get to give advice. What advice do you have for young girls coming up through the Lady Firebird basketball program?
Honestly, just work hard every single chance you have. Don't take it for granted. It goes by so quickly. And even looking back on it, like with me, even college being like the former college and pro being the former leagues I was in, I was like, I would just give anything just to put my shoes on again. And when I'm coaching my players, sometimes I'll even jump out there and practice. So it honestly goes by so fast. So just make the most of it. Work hard. Don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat the grind. And you can really get anywhere you want with hard work and tools and great coaches and great support. So
That's all advice that you followed as a player.
yes,
It's been great talking to you.
Thank
Great
you.
reconnecting with you
Yes.
after all these years. And congratulations
Thank you
on
so
this
much.
great honor. And enjoy the weekend. We have been sitting down talking to my friend Chelsea Welch, Kettering Fairmont class of 2013, Hall of Fame class of 2025. Thank you.